What is ZeroTier? ZeroTier is a software-defined network (SDN) technology that creates virtual networks over the Internet, allowing devices to communicate as if they were on the same local network. It combines aspects of VPNs, virtual private networks, and SD-WAN, software-defined wide area networking, to provide flexible, scalable, and secure networking solutions. Key components: ZeroTier network, a virtual network that operates on top of your existing Internet connection. Devices join this network by installing ZeroTier software and connecting to a network ID. ZeroTier software, client software that is installed on devices, computers, smartphones, servers, etc., to enable them to connect to the ZeroTier network. Network controller, manages network configurations and permissions. ZeroTier provides a cloud-based controller, but you can also set up your own controller for greater control. Core features: virtual LAN, devices on the same ZeroTier network can communicate as if they are on a local area network, LAN, even if they are geographically dispersed. End-to-end encryption, traffic within a ZeroTier network is encrypted using AES-256, ensuring secure communication between devices. Peer-to-peer connections, ZeroTier establishes direct peer-to-peer connections between devices whenever possible, reducing latency and improving performance. Cross-platform support, available on major operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iOS, and Android, making it versatile for various environments. Advantages: ease of use, simple setup and management through a web-based interface. Flexibility, supports a variety of network topologies and configurations. Scalability, can accommodate networks of varying sizes, from small teams to large organizations. Considerations: reliability, as with any third-party service, you depend on ZeroTier's infrastructure and reliability. Latency, virtualization and encryption can introduce some latency, though it's typically minimal. Control, some users might prefer self-hosted solutions for greater control and customization. Step 1. Create a ZeroTier account. Go to the ZeroTier website. On the ZeroTier website, you can explore the platform and see which operating systems it supports. Let's create a new network and enter a description. For me, this will be the Office ZeroTier network for staff connections. Here we can see that when my staff connects, they will automatically receive an IP address from this range. This is the ZeroTier network ID that we need to provide to the staff for them to add it to their Mikrotik routers. We need to visit the Mikrotik website to download the additional packages required to add ZeroTier to our Mikrotik router. Make sure to check your router's architecture and download the correct package, which in this case will be for the ARM architecture. Once the download is complete and you open the file, you will see the ZeroTier package. You can unzip the file, then drag and drop the ZeroTier package onto the Mikrotik router. Afterward, reboot the router to have it appear in the Mikrotik menu. Now we can see that ZeroTier is available in the menu section. Let's set up ZeroTier on the Mikrotik by clicking Add. We will enter the network ID in the network section of the Mikrotik and leave the Allow Manage option enabled to automatically receive the IP range from ZeroTier. To set up a firewall rule on your Mikrotik to allow traffic, you'll be checking the Mikrotik wiki page to understand the necessary steps for configuring it. Let's activate the ZeroTier instance on our Mikrotik and wait for it to show as running. Then, go to the ZeroTier website, navigate to the network, and click Check for new nodes. We can now see the Office Mikrotik address on the ZeroTier website. Let's authorize it within the ZeroTier network. The Office Mikrotik is now authorized, and we've received a managed IP. Now, let's move on to setting up ZeroTier on John's Mikrotik. Let's enable the ZeroTier instance on John's Mikrotik, then check and refresh the website to see if the Mikrotik address appears. Once it shows up, we'll authorize the Mikrotik. We can see that John's Mikrotik is now running on ZeroTier and has received a managed IP from the ZeroTier range. Both the Office and John's Mikrotik are now on the same LAN network. We can also edit the authorized address to give it the necessary name for easier identification. Now let's ping John's local IP range using the ZeroTier network range as the gateway. We'll set up static routing for this. While ZeroTier can handle dynamic routing, I prefer to configure it statically on the Mikrotik. If you'd like me to let ZeroTier handle the routing dynamically, feel free to mention it in the comments. Let's do the same on John's Mikrotik by setting up routing to the office's local IP range through the ZeroTier IP range gateway.